William here, Patriot Containers. I have a subscriber that asked me a question the other day of how does Patriot Containers process payments? And I've been making, this is probably like my fourth video I've made of this because I drag it on too long with the execution of the information that you need, but I kind of have to explain with why my way works and why the other companies don't work, so it makes sense to you. I'm going to start off with this. I've been in business for 12 years, no employees. I've sold 20,000 containers estimated, and I don't have a single complaint online from anybody that's ever bought a container from me. It doesn't exist. How is that possible? Obviously, I do everything right. When you have a sale, you have the sale process, which is negotiation and winning you over as a customer. And then you have the process after your order. You as a buyer, you don't care about this sale, okay? You care about the process. You want to be communication. You want a good quality container. You want it to be delivered on the right day. You don't want to be lied to, and you want to be happy in the end. This is the part you want. You don't care about this part. Patriot Containers is bad at the sales part. I'm perfect at communication, quality of the container, having it delivered on the right day, telling the truth and making sure you're happy. That's why I have no complaints. I'm a perfectionist of what happens after your order. The opposite is what these other companies are. They're great at sales. They're great at lying. They're great at closing you. They are horrible at the part that you want, okay? Hopefully that part makes sense. Now, companies that are good at sales are going to tell you not to pay for your container. They're going to say, we do cash on delivery in selected areas, okay? But it's only probably one location in the whole United States, okay? They're going to tell you don't pay for your container and then pay the driver cash. They're talking you out of a way that could benefit you, but it doesn't. They need to talk you into a way that benefits them. So here's how they get you. They tell you payment on delivery. When they've told you you have a warranty, lifetime warranty, 60 or 90 day full money back refunds, lifetime support, they're the best, they're the most reviewed, they're nationwide. The list goes on and on and on for the shit these companies tell you guys, so you feel so safe and secure, and you listen to their guidance of how they put you into a financial trap. Scams and Pinocchio rookie multi-level marketing schemes weren't around before COVID. They sprouted up around that time. I've been selling containers for 14 years, but I've been owner-operator. In the beginning, there wasn't scams. You guys weren't scared to pay for your containers. And there wasn't companies that made you guys sign terms and conditions, okay? So, when you go with a Pinocchio rookie company that's good at sales but bad at the process that you want, the way they get away with it is that you got to sign their terms and conditions, which allows cancellation fees. The cancellation fee is there because they don't intend to deliver when you were promised a container. Really, that's why it's there. They have a cancellation fee, restocking fee, and they keep your delivery money. They're scared that when they show up that you're not going to like their rusty piece of shit that they delivered you, okay? If they have to come back and get that container, they're going to keep your delivery money, your pickup money, your cancellation fee, and your restocking fee. And that can total up to 100% of your money. How do they get away with that? Why do companies that do this have the most complaints? Because they lied to you to make sales. That's why they make sales, because they're liars. But they're also putting you into a trap. So when you place an order with those companies that are good at sales but bad at the process, you got to order through their website. You're going to click on I accept terms and conditions. By doing that, you've just allowed them to charge you a cancellation fee, a restocking fee, keeping your delivery money, keeping your pickup money. They don't have real warranties. They never have and they never will. If you think you're going to get a full money back refund, you're not. You're going to lose 75% to 100% of your money, and there's nothing you can do about it because you signed their terms and conditions. So it doesn't matter when you make that payment. They're going to verify that your credit card works. So when everything goes wrong, they charge you all that money. It doesn't matter if you pay for it in the beginning. It doesn't matter if you pay for it on delivery. It just doesn't. You are screwed once you sign terms and conditions and they validate a card. You're screwed right then and there for a cancellation fee minimum. Now, how is it that I've been around for 12 years, owner operator, and I don't have one single complaint online from anybody that's ever bought a container from me? How? Well, it's easy. I'm very good at the part after your order. I communicate well, I buy better containers, and I show up on the right day, and I tell you the truth. I've lost sales because I'm so truthful. Literally. And I hang up the phone going, man, I bet you if I lied to that person, I would have made that sale. That person was asking me to literally lie to them, and I refused to do it. And they go buy from a Pinocchio rookie, I guess. And then they leave them complaints like they always have. Companies that say they have lifetime warranties and money back guarantees and all that bullshit, they're also the same companies that have the most complaints. So how does my process work? You got to understand, I've had this process for 12 years and it's never changed. I accept all forms of payment, okay? I don't demand any form of payment. I don't demand orders. I don't close orders. If you want to buy from me, you can. If you don't, you don't. I'm here to offer you a real service in an industry that is completely broken and it will never be fixed. The only thing that I can do about it is make my videos, okay? So you call me. Obviously, you know with what size you want. We talk about the conditions. We talk about the pricing. We talk about the delivery price. And we get you into a container that you want at the right price that you're going to be happy with. And then all I have to do, hello, driver, what day can you deliver this container? Oh, William, I can do it on this day. Okay, is that date great for you? Yes, okay, put me on the schedule. That's it. That's all I do, okay? So when you're really scheduled on a real calendar, and again, back to these sales agents you guys are buying containers from, they don't know when your container is going to arrive. They're lying to you, okay? They also don't know what the company is going to purchase for you. They don't know what you're going to get. I do. I know what day your container is going to get there, and I know what condition it's actually going to be in, because you're going to be told the truth about cosmetics. I don't sell containers that don't function correctly. I sell cosmetics, which is what people. If you don't sell cosmetics, you're going to have complaints constantly. And guess what? There's many people out there that say, I don't care about how it looks. They always care about how it looks. So back to the process. Patriot Containers has a system. And again, these companies that are better at sales but not good at the process, they have a system that benefits the company, but it doesn't benefit the customer. I'm the exact opposite. Like I said in the beginning, I have a system that actually benefits customers, but it can harm me. You as a customer, you're at the very top of the totem pole. The shipping lines are next, the drivers are next, and I'm at the bottom. I'm always the one that gets shit on because I have a system that works for customers. They don't. And so we have it scheduled, and then so I have a cost, a profit, and in certain states there is a sales tax. So that's the three numbers you're going to pay. And this is what I advise anybody watching my videos. You should always pay by debit or credit card. But here's the kicker with me. I don't have cancellation fees. I don't have restocking fees. I don't have keeping your delivery money, keeping your pickup money. I don't need terms and conditions on my website that protect my business from my customers like those other companies do. The terms and conditions on their website is to protect the company from their customers. And I don't have that because Patriot Containers, my business was built because I worked for crappy companies and I wanted to correct everything. And then so it's just super rare to find a good company these days. So here's how it works. You pick the container you want in the right condition. you have it scheduled, and then you make a payment on debit or credit card, but I don't charge you guys 3%. All these other companies do. And then they say, okay, well, if you want to save 3%, you can Zelle, Wire, ACH. Don't do that. You can't get your money back that way. But you have to sign their terms and conditions. I don't have any terms and conditions to protect me from you. My job is to tell you the truth, deliver on the right day, and show up with a good product. Now, those three numbers, cost, profit, and sales tax in selected areas, that's all obviously one number. That's the part you're going to pay on debit or credit card. But let's say the delivery is $500-800. Go ahead and pay my driver cash when they get there. So you going with my company, there's nothing to lose and only to gain. If you want the container to be delivered on the right day, you want the condition of your container to be in either new or good used, and you want the truth to be told to you at all times with somebody that refuses to lie to you, that's what I do. So I put my customers in a position where you can't really lose with my business. With those companies, you've lost the second you've accepted their terms and conditions. Their business is a multi-level marketing scam. Mine is a legitimate business designed to help customers, to protect customers, and to do the job right. I don't have any complaints in 12 years. How is that possible? Well, it's easy. Tell the truth, deliver on the right day, and show up with a good product. That's it. That's how it is. So yeah, it's you guys have everything to lose going with Pinocchio rookie companies that are saying lifetime warranties, money back guarantees. Well, if that was the true, why do they have so many complaints? Why do they steal your money? Well, you signed their terms and conditions and they did a bad job. That's why. I don't do a bad job. I do a good job. So anyways, that's it. Yeah, I accept debit or credit card. I accept all those other forms of payments, but I don't advise you ever to pay. If the scams are stealing your money that way, I don't even want to ask for that. If you want to pay me that way, you can, but it's again, you still have nothing to lose. And yeah, I mean, if I stole customers' money, if I sold shitty containers, if I took forever to deliver, I would have complaints all over the internet. Well, my business doesn't do that. That's why. And so you got to understand is, again, I learned from the worst companies. Not as bad as these companies, but back in the day, the companies that I worked for were really bad. And I walked out and I was like, dude, these companies are horrible. It's not hard to do this. It's really not. All you got to do is tell the truth, deliver on the right day, and show up with a good product. That's it. And I'm good at it. So that's it, guys. Hopefully that clears the air. My advice is always pay by debit or credit card, but never sign terms and conditions. You are always protected through the bank that way. But the second you sign something, you're screwed. And Patriot Containers doesn't make you sign anything. I do the job right, and there's nothing to bitch and complain about. So hopefully that clears the air. Have a great one. Goodbye.